The best MacBook is a tricky thing to decide, and it's just gotten a bit more complicated. The move from Intel processors to Apple Silicon, starting with the Apple M1 chip, will change the MacBook as we know it, as our MacBook Air with M1 review shows. But one size does not fit all once you take a closer look at the best MacBooks. There are specific reasons why many should pay more for the M1-based MacBook Pro. Plus, there's still an audience for those who may prefer Intel-based MacBook Pros, and the 16-inch model only comes with Intel for now. The new MacBook Air 2020 is our top recommendation for the best MacBook overall. Apple's new Apple M1 chip makes it faster than we ever expected the Air to get, and its power efficiency enables much longer battery life, lasting over 14 hours on a charge. But if you need more than 16 GB of RAM, or want 4 Thunderbolt USB-C ports, this conversation gets more complicated, and you're going to want to look at the Intel-based MacBooks as well. In this video, I will show you the best MacBook in 2020. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. MacBook Air. With M1. The MacBook Air was always the best MacBook for most people, but now it's better for even more people than ever before. Apple's decision to replace its Intel processors with its own Apple Silicon, starting with the M1 chip in the MacBook Air, is reaping serious rewards. This laptop's 14 hours and 41 minutes of battery life, the How Much Tech battery test is the best for a MacBook Air ever. Plus, the M1 delivers crazy fast performance, so much so that it can run serious games smoothly. The MacBook Air's webcam has also been upgraded, as the M1 chip provides signal processing tricks to improve clarity and color accuracy. And, of course, the Magic Keyboard is still here, which provides a comfy typing experience. Dolby Atmos audio support means that some movies and TV shows will sound even better than before. The MacBook Air is now not just the best MacBook for your average Apple user, but it's closer to the title of the king of the laptops than it's been in years. 13-inch MacBook Pro with M1. The MacBook Pro with M1 takes everything we like about the M1-based MacBook Air and then kicks it up a notch or two. For example, it lasted a whopping 16 hours and 32 minutes on How Much Tech battery test, beating the M1 Air by nearly 2 whole hours. On top of that, the MacBook Pro's 434.8 nit display is brighter than the Air's 365.8 nit panel. And on the Handbrake video transcoding test, it converted a 4K movie to 1080p in 7 minutes and 44 seconds, beating the already speedy MacBook Air's 915. Other perks include Dolby Atmos sound, improved webcam video quality, the sharp 2K Retina display, and iOS and Apatos app support. And don't forget the Magic Keyboard, which is an actual joy to type on. 16-inch MacBook Pro. The biggest MacBook, the 16-inch MacBook Pro, has yet to be converted to Apple's M1 chip yet, and for many a video editor and streamer, there's good reason to wait. While Apple's Final Cut Pro has been updated for Apple Silicon, that's not the only video editing application in the game. Adobe Premiere Pro, arguably the dominant choice in the industry, is still an Intel-based application, which would be running through Rosetta 2, the technology that Apple's using to enable backward compatibility. This is why we recommend the Intel-based 16-inch MacBook Pro for those creators who need rock-solid reliable performance, which its Intel Core i9 processor delivers in spades. Not only is this the best MacBook for demanding professionals for its speed, but its 16-inch panel is perfect for reviewing your projects, with its 429-nit screen delivering a bright and colorful picture. Add nearly 11 hours of battery life on top of that, and you're good to go get work done anywhere you need to be. 13-inch MacBook Pro. Right now, the remaining Intel-based 13-inch MacBook Pro is the hardest MacBook to recommend, but some folks will still pick it. Maybe you're using demanding apps, and you're not sure if it's time to jump to M1-based hardware yet, and you want to make sure your applications are running without error. While those applications will likely get universal versions at some point, not all are here yet. Have a lot of peripherals? If you want 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports, you can only go Intel right now. Plus, the 13-inch Intel MacBook Pro is the only version that can be customized with 32 GB of memory or 4 TB of storage, and that 16 GB RAM limit for the 13-inch M1 MacBook Air may be a cause for complaint about those using higher-end applications. Just don't expect the fastest raw performance. The Intel MacBook Pro's Geekbench 5 score of 4,399 falls down trying to catch up with the newer MacBook Pro's 5,882 scores. And while the Intel-based MacBook Pro transcoded a 4K video in 12 minutes and 43 seconds, the M1-based Pro finished almost 5 minutes earlier.